from Casey Creates, and I'm here because I have a new journal that I just created, and I thought I would share it with you. It's one of the ones that I've had a lot of fun making with my fresh batch of tea-dyed paper, and it's a theme that I love. It's called Rose Cottage. So if you'd like to see it with me, I'm going to have a cup of coffee and visit with you for a minute. We didn't have school yesterday because of rain. I think that's the first time in my life that we didn't have school because of rain. But today is our remote learning day, so I have a little extra time, and I wanted to show you my Cottage Rose journal, or Rose Cottage I should call it. I had this beautiful, what is that stuff called? It's sort of plasticky feeling. Of course I know what it's called, but I can't recall it right now, but I copied it onto some really nice fabric, and so it's a fabric covered journal, and it's the hardcover little journal that I showed you in my haul the other day. And this is a rather inexpensive little crocheted lace trim, but I just love it for the cost. It's just so pretty. It's not vintage, but it takes on a nice vintage look. And so on the spine I just have this nice little knotted bow and some of this pretty ecru, is that ecru or tan? I'll call it tan, lacy trim. And then these are some tags that I just distressed and put the little cottage image on the front. And I don't know, when I think of a cottage, I think of ivy growing on the stucco or whatever the cottage is made of. Sort of has a Tudor look to it. And I think of the cottage from that movie Sense and Sensibility, and all the sisters lived in what was supposedly not a mansion, but it was beautiful to me. So this is the cover. I don't know if you can see, I have a really grungy little tea-dyed piece of lace that I tied into a bow. And then I learned this little trick from Ruby, which is to put Mod Podge on your paper flowers, and they get sort of a porcelain flower look. So I learned from a lot of you. You all have such great ideas. So thank you for that. This is a beautiful tatted piece of vintage doily, and have another piece of it right there. And I will get started. So a lot of this was inspired by an old vintage book on flowers. Well, I don't think it's a vintage book, but it was to take on the look of an old vintage book. And the theme that I went with was the rose. And I really love this poem. It says, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, old time is still a-flying. And this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying." I think it's Robert Herrick. And it is, whoa, this is really old. Hold on, I didn't see that. 15 something to 1674. That is very old. So this is also a paper line from, oh boy, I'll have to put it in the description box. But you did a digital paper, which I've never done a full journal of somebody else's papers before, but these were just so beautiful that I wanted to use them. And I will tell you whose they are in the description box because I can't remember. But I made this pretty rose tag. And then I just put some more of the, I can bend it so you can see, some twine and the leaf trim. And then there's these really awesome weathered looking, cracked weathered paint for the background, but it's nice for journaling. And then this is another cottage tag, but underneath I have tea-dyed lined paper, so you can journal on that. You can stick more tags under there, or photo memorabilia. And then several pages I just put pretty lace edging. And I love the paper doily effect, so I did the tea-dyed paper doily. You could put an image there or a pretty sticker of some sort. Isn't this paper beautiful? Beautiful rose prints. More of the space for journaling. And then this page is a little interactive in that it untucks. I thought it would be fun to put the contents of the book in here because it tells you what each flower means, like Amaryllis is pride. I'll just skip around, I won't read them all. The cornflower is delicacy. The daisy is innocence. So I thought that was pretty neat. So I wanted to put that in. And this just tucks under there. And it's on some tracing paper. And this is a pretty little piece of pink tea-dyed lace. And then I have a little tuck spot here with a cottage. And her paper line is also roses and cottages. And then she also gives you this beautiful tags and ephemera. This is another little reading from the book on the rose. Tells you all about the history of the rose. And this is more of her paper, some vintage doily that I put on the side. And I decoupaged this image. I don't know what's happening upstairs. I just hope there's not about to be a flood. So I have some ruche decoupage paper that I stitched. I don't know if you can see it, but I just hand stitched it because I like how rustic it looked on the script paper. And of course there's the crinkling noise of the tracing paper. And then on this side I have some more of that vintage doily that I just cut up, and I wanted to kind of highlight the butterfly that was in the paper, so I put one there. And then I made my own little glassine bag. It's really just made out of tracing paper, but I decoupaged some pretty little images on there and made a couple tags. And this was a really cute little white price tag, but I decoupaged a flower onto it. I thought it turned out really cute. And then there's just another one with the script. So just tuck down in here. And what I'm doing is getting journals ready for my Etsy shop so that I can have a little Christmas sale. So if you have time and want to come back, I will be showing you two Christmas journals that I've made, and then another video of some tags and Christmas cards. But I wanted to do this little country cottage one first. I just love the tags. This one unfolds and you can journal on it again. There's lined paper, and it just tucks back under there, and you could fit several other things in there if you wanted to. And probably recognize some of the Tim Holtz ephemera. And beautiful, beautiful graphics. Some journaling space here. And I clipped an envelope here. And then again, this is all about the rose and how Queen Elizabeth I loved roses, and it talks all about Queen Elizabeth there. And then inside I popped a little journal, and I made it out of old newsprint paper just because I thought it would help it look kind of old. And I really rustically put some lines on each page for journaling, and then that's the back. So, oh, and then there's another little journaling card, tea themed, and I'm gonna just tuck this back in here. And clip it back to here. And turn the page. So more journaling space. There's a doily. And this sweet, sweet image. I love this. And it's an envelope, but I didn't put anything in there. I just made that tiny little paper clip. And she is doing a little daisy. Oh no, she's got, I think, forget-me-nots, but I see some daisies right down there. Sweet little bow in her hair. Super cute. And it tucks onto here. And then I just decoupage some pretty roses on that one. And we're almost to the end. There's a little tuck spot. And a couple more tags. Oh, and I just watched Chrissy on Chrissy Crosser, Chrissy's Attic, and she was showing this beautiful keepsake journal where she had tucked handkerchiefs, vintage handkerchiefs, and really vintage lace. So I put this piece of lace in here to remind me that I want to go dig out a vintage handkerchief to stash under this belly band. And then this is the back page where they're in their pretty dresses, just sitting in the sitting room doing what they do. So there is my Rose Cottage journal. I'll just flip through each page again really quick and say thank you for watching with me and in helping me enjoy this crafting journey. We're always excited when we finish a journal and feel like there's somebody to share it with. That's how I feel when I come and do my videos, that I'm excited to share it with you. So I appreciate you watching, and like I said, I'll be back to show you a couple of the Christmas journals I've recently created, if you'd like to see them. So keep an eye out. I will keep an eye out for your videos as well. I really enjoy seeing them, and I hope you stay safe and well, and I will be back again soon. Happy crafting.